sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What is up, everybody? What is up? Good Sunday evening. Excited on this Sunday evening to come here and talk some Mets baseball with you guys. And as always, it's myself and Eddie. As you know, Mets Talk Unfiltered, myself and Eddie. But tonight we have my guy Top Bunk joining us to do the damn thing. So before we go any further, let's say what's up to Eddie. How you doing, my brother?
Chilling, my guy. We are 8-2 in our last 10, and we are the first place New York Mets, motherfucker. So how about that? First place New York Mets.
Top, how you feeling, bro?
Feeling good, bro. Feeling good. Mets took care of business, man, and now they on to LA to handle some more important business against the reigning defending world champ. So I'm excited, man.
Yeah, man, yeah. And as Eddie touched on it, 7-2 on the homestand, swept the last series against the Rockies. Um, won this last game. What was it? 5-4. I forget the final score. We saw our three big guys go out there hit home runs today. And just many things to feel good about. Many things to feel good about right now, as like you said, we get ready to go out west, and we know the Dodgers are going to be ready for us, and hopefully we're ready for us. I think we're ready for us, and it's always good to go into a series like that on a good note, right? Coming off a W as opposed to coming off a loss. I think that's how we faced them last time. We had lost the game before, something
Yep.
like that. And everybody was losing their mind. So definitely, much better to do it this way. But yeah, excited and listen. 7-2 in the homestand. Sweep the Rockies. The Mets have won 12 of the 18 series that they've played. I don't know what anybody else has done, but that's what the Mets have done. I was looking, just looking at stuff, and the Mets, I believe, are 18-10 against teams over 500, right? And I'm looking at that, and what stood out to me is you have teams like the Phillies, who people, they won a little hot streak, and the Phillies are going to take the division. The Phillies, they're like 2 games under 500 against teams over 500. The Mets have the best record against teams over 500. The Tigers, who are killing the league, I think there may be 3 games over
17
500.
games over 500, the
Right.
Tigers.
But they're only 3 games over 500 against teams over 500, believe it or not. You know what I mean? Those just little things that stand out that I wanted to point out. And those teams that the Mets have played, although I don't know where the hell is it? Oh, I don't have it. Sorry, I apologize. I had the record of the. Oh no, here it goes. Sorry, here we go. As we see here, the NA standings, and I was surprised, guys. I didn't know if you guys noticed this, but I was surprised when I saw the standings earlier that the Nats actually moved up to third place.
Yeah, man,
Now,
they're sneaky playing sneaky good right now.
right, and it's only by they have a one
Yeah.
win more than the Braves, but still, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, the Braves, every time they get to 500, they go like they lose 2 games. It's weird. It's weird with them right now. It's weird. I thought they were going to come around, but whatever. I don't give a fuck. Fuck the Braves as far as I'm
And
concerned.
listen, and there's still time. There's still time. They're still getting guys back, still getting in the groove and all that good stuff. I mean, they're 3-7 in their last 10. The Mets now 8-2 in their last 10. They had a little while there where they were 5-5, 6-4, and again the Phillies were like 5-6-0, whatever the hell it was, because they went on that winning streak and all of that. And I said, look, and I even said I think in the last show, look at everything that the Phillies had to do just to try to catch up. And it's not like we were playing terrible, right? And now look, it's all evening out, and here we are again in first place by 1 game. But again, back to the teams over 500. Now, these are the teams that the Mets have played over 500. And look at these
Yeah.
records. Winning records, except for the Yankees, who they're 1 game under against, obviously, and then the D-backs, who they split against in the season series. Other than that, 5-2 against the Cardinals, 2-1 against the Dodgers, 3-0 against the Phillies so far. Took 2 or 3 from the Cubs, and the Cubs are going to be that challenge. The one of the better offenses in the game. Remember that, guys? How
Yep.
did that go? How did that go? You know what I mean? So it's just a good time to be a Met fan. I keep thinking about last year at this time, guys. The Mets are now 37-22. Is it? I forget exactly the record. think that's what it is.
Yeah, yes, 37 and 22. Yes.
37 and
So we're
22.
15 games over right now.
15 games over
That
500.
is beautiful. That is fucking beautiful.
Last year at this time,
Beautiful.
I'm pretty sure
We had a losing record. I think we were
10, 9 games
11 games
under
under.
500.
9 games of under 500.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe 9
right,
or
right.
10
This is
games.
when it just started, May 30th.
Yeah, this is when we just started to turn it around. Don't forget
Yep.
May 29th or 30th. Well, I forget exactly what date it was.
It was the
when
31st.
Jorge Lopez threw the glove. When Jorge Lopez threw the glove, we were 11 games under.
Yeah, that was the start.
Right?
Yeah.
And look at the turnaround that we had and where we got to. And here we are this year, again, 15 games over. And we haven't even really played great. We haven't had our offense all click for 2 games, 1 game, let alone 2 or 3 games, and dare I say a week or 2. We haven't had Juan Soto really do much. But guess what's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Juan Soto is heating the hell up.
Yeah, man.
He's starting to hit those pop-ups are starting to become line drives now. That's the difference. He's starting to get the timing back, and that's what we were all waiting to see. And now it's starting to come out. So it's the breakout is this close. This close.
Yep. And I mean, he has home runs in back-to-back days. So, like, what are we looking for to say, all right, he broke out? Is it one game? Are we gonna see it like just happen like along the way? Like, we're gonna look up and like, oh, Juan Soto is, I don't know, 8 for his last 19 or some crazy shit like that, maybe even better. And we're like, oh wow, we didn't even realize it. I wonder what kind of breakout is gonna be. It's gonna be an explosive breakout where he has a 3 for 4, followed with a 2 for 4, followed with another 3 for 4, maybe a 4 for 4, that kind of week where he finally, and just goes.
Just slowly but surely. That's it. You see the timing starting to get there. You see he's starting to put the barrel on the ball. That's the little differences. He used to be popping up, kind of checking out of at bats. He's not doing that anymore. He's a little locked in. And once he gets really locked in, that's when it's going to start to break. And you guys are seeing it now. We're starting to see it. So to me, it's only a matter of time. And we've all said this, but now we're at that point. And the weather's starting to get warm too, and that's going to play a factor.
Shout out to the comments too, because I see somebody in the comments named Dolo Supreme. He says Soto needs to show it in the Dodger series. I think it's not only that he needs to. I think this is what's going to motivate him. I think coming to the Dodgers, understanding that he had a good momentum against the Rockies. Now it's like, all right, I'm fresh to go. Like I'm back in my element. Now we're here to play some heavy baseball against a really good team. Let's this is where I thrive. And again, he's had great numbers against the Dodgers. So I think, playing against the Dodgers really, really helps him out. So yeah, I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. So he has good numbers against the Dodgers.
Yeah, yes. Career-wise, he does.
Career-wise, he has going back to his second year where they won the World Series with the Nationals. He's pretty much owned them.
Let me ask you guys something, because it's something that I was looking at. And I was talking to somebody the other day, and as he's gotten off to the slow start, as compared to when he was traded to the Padres. And that year, it seemed like he just wasn't doing well. He had a bad year. Right. He had a bad year. That was 22, right?
Yeah, he hit like 256 or something that year. That was just like his worst year.
I was going to say, how would you guys feel about a year that's 242 batting average, 4-1 on base, 452 slugging, an 853 OPS, 27 home run? No, but this doesn't make sense. He only had 62 RBIs that year.
Well, he was also traded in the trade deadline.
Yeah, halfway through.
No, I know he was traded, but he only had 62 RBIs that year.
I don't think that's right. I think he had more than that.
I'm looking at it right now.
I can look at that for you right now, actually.
You know what? Let me look at it another way. But my point is, I was looking at the month by month for that year. And The dude had 4 home runs in April and March, five in May, five in June, six in July, four in August, and three in September and October.
Yeah, 2022 wasn't a great year for him. He finished with the San Diego Padres on a 236 average. He had an OPB of 388, a slugging percentage of 390, and his OPS was 778. So he didn't, anything, we always say anything from 800s and up is good. So he finished
Right.
at 778. Um, he had obviously the numbers are a little bit lower because obviously he was traded there, but then in 2023 he finished with a 275 average with the San Diego Padres. So his numbers were much better in 2023, but then he took it up a notch with the Yankees. So yeah, that 2022 was kind of his, because even with the Nationals before he got traded. Right before he got traded, his average with them that he finished before getting traded was 246, and his OPS was higher. It was 893, so he was getting on base more. His slugging was higher as well, 485. But a lot of them resulted in ground outs, which is why his average was where it was at. So, yeah, 2022 was kind of a stinker for him. But that's basically been the only year where he's had a struggling year. The rest of the numbers in his career, they've been up.
No,
So.
yeah, and the only reason why I was looking at that and even brought it up because I wanted to see if there was any way that he kind of like saved the season. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And just to say like, yo, listen, look at where he's at now. Excuse me, this year compared to where he was then.
Right.
So there's still hope. There's still hope. And like you heard me say earlier today, and what I've been saying a lot of lately is look at where we are,
Right.
and he hasn't done. Let's say he hasn't done anything or whatever. He's been underwhelming. Do we think Juan Soto's washed up? I know none of us here think he's
Come
washed up,
on.
right? Are you gonna believe that Juan Soto's 30 years old, like some people are trying to say?
Yeah.
Is it because he really is so unhappy here? You know, no. So even if he's still trying to figure it out, eventually he will. And when he does, and he may be on his way there, man, oh man,
Yeah.
what? How are we going to look then? is,
Listen,
is what I keep envisioning.
if I'm not mistaken, I think it was, what game was it? I don't know if it was the Cubs, but I know it was a Saturday game where we were on Fox, and Ken Rosenthal works with Fox, and Ken Rosenthal kind of got him after the game and asked him a question, and he basically said, I guess he asked him about the struggles, and he basically said, it's a, I'm not gonna lie, it's a new environment, it's a new team, but it's also, I'm here for a long time, so it takes a lot of me getting used to just being able to handle everything that comes with that. This, I've always said it, and Hector and Eddie, you've heard me say it multiple times whenever we talk with our other guys on X about Mets baseball. I've always said that he's a human being, and these are things you guys, I want Met fans, and not you guys in particularly, but I want Met fans to understand that he is 26 and he has the access to social media just like everybody else does. He understands where that pressure is coming from. And at the end of the day, he understands that there's a big weight on his shoulders to, perform at a certain level. Now, of course, I'm not giving the guy any excuses. When you have to perform, you have to perform, and you can hold him to a high standard because of who he is. He's already proven that he can win. He did it with the Washington Nationals. But at the same time, he does understand that there is stuff being said about him because of that contract.
Of
Not
course.
because of the player that he is. It's because of that contract. See, that's the difference. So I'm glad that he was able to be honest to Ken Rosenthal about that, because everybody before that comment, we were always wondering, well, not us, but a lot of people were wondering, was he happy here? Did he feel comfortable here? And he was honest. He said, listen, I have, I'm struggling, and I just want to get used to the atmosphere. I want to get used to being on this team, because not only am I here, but I'm here for a very long time. This isn't a thing where I'm here for 1 year and then I get another year of choosing a different team. So it's a different situation now.
100%, man. Listen, we all knew it was only a matter of fucking time with this guy. I don't care what anybody says. He's
Right.
one of the top 5, top 7 best hitters in the game. He's got the best eye in the game other than Judge. He knows the strike zone better than almost anybody in the game other than Judge. He is that guy, and we've been waiting on this moment, and the moment is here. He is here, and I'm going to come on record and say it. So Juan Soto is back, motherfuckers. Deal with it. He's back. The Mets are back. Fuck you for fucking hating on us and talking all this shit. We're 15 games over 500. So go fuck yourselves. We're the best. And we're one of the best teams in the National League. And we're one of the best teams in baseball. And our guys haven't even been doing that well. But now they're back. So now that they're back, we're going to be even better. So fuck all of you that doubted us.
Yeah, and I put up the numbers up here, but I apologize. These are a little off. I know the season stats are not quite updated yet. And against the Rockies, he actually was he had actually 2 home runs, 4 hits. So he was 4 for 9.
Look at that.
But yeah,
429.
yeah, he was 4 for 9 with 2 home runs and 2 RBIs. But again, hopefully, we are finally starting to see the heating up of Juan Soto, and was going to be a very fun summer with this guy and Pete Alonso, who now is starting to heat back up again. We saw Lindor, who was, they both, him and Pete, had a little bit of a cool off, but they're entitled to that, right? They're entitled to that. They were carrying this far. The problem wasn't them cooling off. The problem was that nobody else heated up. You know what I'm saying? To really carry the load. But it wasn't whatchamacallit. I don't know how that was my train of thought. But anyways, Peter Lindor now also picking it back up. And another guy that we've seen that's been a very hot topic, has been Brandon Nimmo.
Yes.
Right? And where should Brandon Nimmo hit? Brandon Nimmo should have been hitting cleanup. Brandon Nimmo this, Brandon Nimmo that, Brandon Nimmo's approach. Even I was getting frustrated with Brandon Nimmo's approach. And we know that I'm a huge fan of Brandon Nimmo. And I endorsed, man. I was one of the first people before they even did it, talking about maybe Brandon Nimmo should in the middle of the order. So I've been disappointed that he hasn't been able to do it. I've even been disappointed with how he's been speaking about it lately. While he's been having success now that he's been moved up into the 2-hole.
I love him. I love him here. I love him in the 2-hole. I think it's great. Right. I think we're going to start to see that old Nimmo slowly but surely, and I think this is the perfect place for it. Perfect place for him. He looks great in the field too, by the way. He's tracking balls down. He's one of the best left fielders in baseball. If you want to go and look at the numbers too.
Yeah, they were talking about that a couple of games ago. Yep.
Yeah. I love Nimmo on the 2-hole. I didn't think I was going to say that, but I really like it. He looks comfortable there too. I think good things are going to happen with this. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I love it too. Shout out to Rube from Queens Baseball. He held the Mets post game space yesterday, and I basically told him that if you pay attention to Brandon Nimmo's approach, he's been more consistent, and he's been more stern at the plate. He's not swinging on everything wild.
Yeah.
He's laying off certain pitches, and it's funny because I remember last year, or probably in the beginning of this year, we were saying, if Brandon Nimmo, I was saying it, I'll hold myself accountable to it. I was always saying, listen, if you drop Brandon Nimmo, maybe him dropping down can help him get his consistency back. So when he get, like, if you move him down to the 7th spot, and then all of a sudden you move him back up, if he gets high in the 7th spot, maybe that could work. But Mendoza kind of said, you know what, instead of keeping you 4th or 5th, let me put you in the number 2 hole and see how that works. And ever since then, it's worked. I mean, it worked for Vientos last year, even though there were 2 different situations. Vientos went to the number 2 hole one game and never moved because he found momentum there. So again, Mendoza trying things out, and it's paying off. I'm glad that Nimmo's kind of fine. He hasn't got red hot, but he's making contact now. He's getting on base more than he was previously. So,
and he's not trying to golf the ball either anymore.
That whole need that because his power helps the Mets at certain times, but not in every single at bat like he was
No.
doing previously.
I notice he's doing that less of the golf swing now. He's kind of more locked in. I see him just watching the pitches. He's
Right.
seeing it come to him better. He looks very comfortable in this 2-hole. I like it a lot.
Absolutely. I agree.
And he's not trying to hit home runs like he was in the 4-hole.
Right.
Right. So you guys think he should definitely stay there? Is what I
Yeah,
got.
I do.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know. I don't know if he will because we've seen that Mendy's been doing the flip flop with him.
Right.
And he wants to do it with him and Vientos.
And Marte.
Vientos is not. Well, I think that's the thing. That's what I was going to say. He
Right.
wants to do it with Nimmo and Vientos. Vientos is not holding up his end of the bargain. So
Right.
because of that,
Vientos.
he's having to plug Marte in there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's got to step his game up, the Vientos. Vientos and Alvarez. Those are two guys that they got to start getting better at bats. They got to start playing better. It's as simple as that. There's nothing deeper about it. They got to start playing better.
No, for
Especially
sure.
Alvarez, by the way. Especially Alvarez.
I'm trying to see if I can find, but I don't think I have it, man. Because I think it was on YouTube that I was just watching that, like a more expansive post game type thing. But more than the clips that you find on X sometimes. And it was Brandon Nimmo was talking about, and I was a little disappointed because one of the reasons why I thought Brandon Nimmo could hit in the middle of the order was because I was like, you know what, he doesn't need to change his approach. Like I don't understand. I don't understand why guys think, oh, I'm in the middle of the order now. I have to try to lift the ball. No, Brandon, do what you were doing, keeping the ball in the gap. A double where the bases loaded with second and third, or what. It's just as good. Okay, it might be one less run if you hit a home run or not. Brett Beatty hit a triple off the wall with the bases loaded. Were we crying that it wasn't a home run? No, it gave us 3 runs. You take that. But he was talking about how he does change his approach. And to what you guys were saying, now in the 2-hole, he's more about trying to get on base, putting the ball in play, everything.
He's the old Nimmo. He's the old Nimmo.
Everything he was before. Even though, remember the article that I was talking about, he was talking about, it's hard to go back and forth because they were asking him, should you use 2 different approaches from when you bat second and when you bat in the middle of the order? He was like, you can't do that. You got to keep the same approach. Yet now he's telling us, now that I'm in the 2-hole, I'm using a little bit of a different approach. So when I heard that, I was like, come on, Nims. That kind of like pissed me off a little bit. But man, listen, I said it. He probably going to flip-flop, but maybe, if Nimmo takes control and that's what the lineup is working, that's where he needs to be. And Vientos, you're going to have to figure the hell out somewhere else. Now, I do wish maybe we can stick my guy Vientos at DH and leave him there for like a week or 2 and see if he figures it out. But at the same time, you're trying to win ball games. So if you're not getting it done, you're going to have to ride the pine a little bit, even if it means Starling Marte batting second every now and then. And I think today also that was top because Nimmo didn't play at all. Because we even saw Marte out there in left field.
Yeah, he got the day off today, clearly.
Yeah, and even though I didn't understand why they bring him in for defense.
He did play. But
they bring him in for defense later on. Which I was like, why the hell would you even do that? Like,
I disagreed with that, but whatever.
Yeah. I was like, at that point, you should have left him there. Now, so the consensus is Nimmo should stay in the 2-hole, but again, I don't think for now. I don't think that's gonna happen. As I look here in the comments and I see my guy Master Flip, and shout out to everybody in the room. Shout out to the chat. I'm gonna try to get to everybody if we can. But you guys know if you see something pop up, it's just my way of saying hello. Mm-hmm. And if something that we should address, we will. And since this was gonna be my next kind of topic, Master Flip says Beatty looks so smooth at third base. He made several plays today, and made it look so easy. Again, that was going to be the next thing I was going to go to. And listen, Brett Beatty has hit his way to the 5-hole. His defensive, I should have put that here, defensively has played himself into the everyday third baseman pretty much.
Yeah.
He's played so well. He even got, I think today was his second, maybe third start against the lefty. Didn't go too well today. And you hope that doesn't get him in a funk. But shout out to Brett Beatty, man. Shout out to Brett Beatty, who another guy who's been a hot topic. Who in the beginning of the season I was having to fight people off about why he should be on the roster. And I'm like, yo, guys, we need him to succeed up here. We need him to
Right.
build up that trade value. Well, to hell with trade value right now. You trade Brett Beatty right now. Maybe you do if you really feel the move is going to make your team better. But I guess you could say that for anybody, right? Most of these guys, obviously, not going to trade Soto.
I'm happy with Brett Beatty.
But
I want to keep him where he is, man. I'm good. I don't want to trade anybody. Right now, we have a good team. I don't outside of a fucking maybe a reliever, I don't think this team needs much. Everybody says, "Oh, we need a starter. We need to." Outside of a reliever to give some guys break down the stretch of the year, and that's not going to come till the end of July, August. I don't think this team needs a damn thing. This team's fucking playing great. They're playing ball. They show up every single day. We're starting to sweep teams now instead of just take 2 or 3. We're starting to lock in. We're 15 games over 500. This season's about to start to take a fucking. We're starting to go up the cliff here now. So we're looking really good. I'm happy with everything I see. Other than maybe Alvarez, I could get on. I could get on Vientos to a degree, but more Alvarez.
we
And
get it.
I think Terrains is going to come in. I'm sure we're going to be talking about this. But other than that, this team has been very good. All that and then some, and they have exceeded my expectations so far in this season. I didn't think they'd be this good this soon. I thought it would take a little bit, but we're over 40 games into the season, and we are doing quite well. We're doing very well right now. So I love the direction of this team.
Absolutely.
And we got our guy Mauricio down there, fucking hitting some bombs. We got him coming ready too. Oh, we got all types of bullets in this chamber, man.
When I was setting up the banners, this was an old banner. And I said I was gonna delete it, right? And I said, you know what, Hector, don't delete this banner. Cause somebody's gonna bring up Mauricio. And all I've got to say is no. I've seen it in the chat already though, too. All I'm gonna say is patience with Mauricio. Let me get back to my guy Top real quick on Beatty and his thoughts on Brett Beatty.
Yeah, no, listen, I see comments in here that are basically saying that people were talking bullshit, that he was soft for New York. It was justified because
He said it.
the guy said it, right? So I don't know. That's not bullshit. He said it out of his own fucking mouth that he agreed with it. Like, he understood that he needed to be better, and he understood what the situation was. And he's been playing well, and he's eliminated those narratives. But the guy seems very comfortable at the plate right now, seems confident. We've always said, even before he got his confidence at the plate, that he's better. He's been a better defender than Mark Vientos.
Great in the field.
That has been the number one thing that we have always gave him props on. It was his inconsistencies as a hitter when he came up here. The way you see him, set up for ground balls, how unrestless he looks. He looks easy, look with swaggerless. Like, everything just with him is it's easy. Like, it just comes naturally. You know what I'm saying? With Vientos, you're kind of just like biting it. You're holding your breath because you don't know if it's gonna be an error, or if it's gonna. And Vientos at times too, like, he makes it look nice and pretty, even though that's not what it's about. But Brett Beatty right now just has the package, and he's on a momentum right now that you can't stop. Like, you can't do nothing about that, but you got to let him just play. And I've always
shout out to the Whites. Shout out to the Whites.
Shout out to the Whites. Shout out to the Whites.
Shout out to the Whites.
You gotta, with those type of players, man, that are on a momentum like that, you gotta play them almost every day. I understand the flip flopping. You want to make sure. A lot of people have an issue with that. I personally don't, because it is your manager giving you the opportunity to go out there and play as much as you can when you're up here. But at the same time, if a guy like Brett Beatty is having success, especially against righties, and you kind of see him, struggling with lefties a little bit, but you got to play him more against lefties for him to find some type of momentum. You got to tell, if you're Mendoza, you got to tell Vientos, listen, I got to play him, and I got to play him at third. If I have Jeff McNeil playing, and I need my hottest hitter right now playing at third. Now, if McNeil needs a day off, cool. I'll put Beatty at second, you play third, or I'll give Beatty a day off after maybe 5-6 games, and you could go play. But at some point, you got to put your best players out there. Right now, Brett Beatty has found his momentum, and Vientos hasn't. So it's a tough decision, but I like the fact that he's been able to find his groove. And again, he right now is putting all those negative narratives to bed. And who knows, man? This could be another storyline where it was Vientos last year. Now it could be Beatty. So
Beatty's got a cannon too. He's got a fucking cannon, that guy. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
I thought Vientos had a cannon. To that point, though,
Vientos is a cannon too, but Beatty's got the fucking smoothness.
They both do. He's just, again, like I said, when it comes to defense, Beatty has the better glove, and that's
he
just
has softer hands. Beatty has softer hands than Vientos.
right.
So that's my take on it.
some of the guys in the chat are maybe not as high, and Dolo says he's gonna come back to earth like Vientos did. D-Rel.
Oh, we got two people there, so who cares?
Here's my question.
Says he looks like a trade piece.
You don't need trades. You need fucking trades. They're gonna see 15 games.
Like I said, I just don't. I don't know.
Want to get a superstar? Okay, then we'll talk.
Example, like again, shout out to MeasyBX saying he's responding to what I said. He says saying that the kid was soft for New York was bullshit. Stop the cap. That was a terrible narrative to put on the young kid. I'm gonna ask him a question. Before this momentum that he was on, what was Brett Beatty doing when he was up here? Absolutely nothing. So how is that a bullshit narrative? It's the narrative that was put when he was up here in AAA. If you're saying that about him in AAA, okay, I get it because he was killing in AAA. But when he was up here, he was given the chance to fucking play. He wasn't doing anything. So how is that a bullshit narrative?
Yeah.
Is the narrative that he created, right? Is the narrative that he created, one, by the way that he was playing, but most importantly, like I said before, he said he was having trouble with the bright lights of New York.
Thank you.
When he said that, he said that.
He said that.
With him having said that, him not performing, it's like, damn, maybe this kid is not made for New York.
And that's natural.
It has nothing to do with attitude. It has nothing to do with how you take shit. Performance could also mean that you're not built, that you're soft for New York, that you're not built for the lights. I don't understand why people keep.
Some guys aren't tough. Some guys aren't built.
My thing is people take that phrase of somebody being soft as the way you act. No, it doesn't also mean about the way you act. It's also about your performance,
how you play.
What I'm trying to say.
Again,
very simple.
Again, I think the most important thing is this narrative was mostly created by him because of the things that he said.
Absolutely.
And then the way that he
because
played.
of his play.
But again,
like Tom said, he would stink here and go down to the minors and ball out,
And now everything's come full circle.
Let's not forget.
Now it's come full circle, and he's got it together. Finally. Sometimes it takes time.
Right. Right. Let's not forget too. It came out. We're gonna say it again. It came out of his own mouth.
Thank you.
So everybody that's calling it bullshit, don't tell us that it's bullshit, motherfucker. The own player said it out of his own mouth. Like again, how there's nothing. It's not like we're taking that and we're trying to create it and trying to go against what he's saying. No,
we're Met fans. We're just happy he's performing, and he's outperformed all of our expectations right now. None of us thought he had this in him. All three of us were like, yo, this kid sucks, yada, yada, yada. Now he's putting it together. I thought the same thing about Vientos last year. I'm like, this guy's not cut out for this shit. It took some time. They put it together, and now they're fucking balling out. Congrats to them.
It is what it is, dude. Again, I rather focus on the fact that he's actually performing here, because then all of a sudden we're gonna have a situation where all of a sudden people are gonna start holding him accountable. I'm like, damn, what the fuck are we gonna do here now? He's been here for four or 5 years, and this shit hasn't changed. So it's like, yo, let's appreciate the fact that he's coming into his own, and hopefully this fourth year that he's on can be something that changes his career and can keep him up here more consistently.
Just keep hitting, brother. Keep fielding. That's my advice.
D-Rose says he forgets that we forget he's been here 4 years. But what I say,
it hasn't been a full,
and that's why I say sometimes we New York fans are also to blame for players and teams not panning out, because we don't have the patience to maybe see a guy struggle a little bit and figure it out.
I agree.
You know, whether it be a free
That's
agent, whether it be a free agent, whether it be a guy coming up. Listen, let's look at it as a blessing that Brett Beatty's not someone that we went and signed as a free agent and is underperforming and we're paying big money to for those that care,
right.
right? Here's somebody who's making league minimum, making 700 and something $1,000 a year. That
Yeah.
if he keeps performing the way he's performing, for those that know how that works, they're gonna tell me, well, he's performing at a $20 million player, at an 18
No,
million,
I
whatever
mean,
the hell it,
Heck,
whatever.
heck, heck, and Top. What is he on pace for? Just so I mean, he's on pace for over 20 homers. He's on pace for a very good OPS slugging.
Right
I
now,
don't have the numbers offhand,
Yeah,
but
if he keeps going with the recent numbers, absolutely.
right, he's on pace for a big year. And again, I killed this guy. I said he sucks. Said he's soft. I thought he was some fucking sucker Midwest white boy that just couldn't handle New York. No, for real. And now he's proving me fucking wrong, bro. Now I shout him out to the whites. So yo, good for him, bro. Keep doing your thing, man.
But you know, and listen, to be fair, he could be on a hot streak right now.
Yeah,
We've seen him go on hot streaks up here before.
not like
What-
this.
Um,
Not this good for this
No.
long.
maybe not for this long, but we've seen him go on little hot streaks before. Last year, starting out, I was posting, we got our third baseman,
Yeah.
and then he fell off,
I mean,
and then Vientos came up and did the damn thing.
if you think about it, he was supposed to be the everyday third baseman over
Yeah.
Vientos. So now that
He
he
can't-
again, it's
Guys, he came up in 2022. Remember that Atlanta series where all three of those guys were supposed to do a thing and they all fucking flopped, and then we flopped the division. We remember. Come on, it's a long time ago. But now he's starting to put this shit together, and it's nice to see.
and he's up here.
Allen says, seems like many people are surprised by Beatty's great defense, but I think that's because earlier he had been playing second, which was an unfamiliar position for him. But even at second
He's
base,
a big guy for a second baseman. I
yeah,
will
but
say
even at
that.
second base, he did well. And I think it's also because, Ellen, a lot of times we focus on offense. And if a guy's doing well on offense, we don't give a damn what he does on defense, unless he's just totally killing us and is a butcher. Perfect example is Mark Vientos. And yes, he played better last year, right? But
Yeah.
now no one wants to see him even play an inning at third base. People think he's horrible. Every time he's in the lineup at third base, what is Mendy doing? Leave Brett Beatty there, blah, blah, blah.
Now we
Last
got to
year,
see what
nobody
this kid
cared.
can do.
But he
Heck.
played better because he was confident and all that good stuff. Brett Beatty right now is confident, right? Because he's hitting, he's feeling good, and he is a good defensive player, and he's showing it. But I think a lot of the times it's not that he wasn't, or even that he was playing second base, because he played third base last year. He's played third base every time he's been up here up until this season.
Yeah.
Is that because he struggled so much with the offense, they really didn't give a damn what the hell he was doing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Whether he was playing good or bad, you know what I'm saying? Now, because he's doing well with the bat, and we noticed the glove, and listen, he's made some great plays. But I think that's somewhat to do. But shout out, good to see you, Ellen.
Facts.
But yeah, man, listen, he's doing well right now. I say leave him in the 5-hole. So how with the experimenting right now? Leave Nimmo second, leave Beatty 5, put Vientos 6, 7, whatever the hell you want to do, and let's roll. But we know they're probably not going to do that because, you know, they like to do the mix and match and a little bit of the lefty-righty stuff and all of that nonsense. And keep giving them starts versus lefties. Keep giving them starts versus lefties. Keep giving them starts versus lefties. I forgot to
I'll take it.
show Brett Beatty numbers.
give
Look
them
at his numbers.
give
He's
them
got-
as
He's got 14 doubles. 14 doubles. That's
Is that
impressive.
even possible? No. 14 runs. Are you crazy?
14 runs.
I was going to say,
We'd be having a whole different conversation if he had 14.
Yeah, I'm like, Jesus.
how many at bats total does he have for the season, fellas?
Say it
4
again?
doubles.
Do we have a total at bat number?
For Beatty
Yeah,
this year, or are you talking about career wise?
this year.
120.
Okay, that's yeah. Those numbers aren't bad, man. Those numbers
Yeah,
aren't
he's
bad.
right
'Cause
now.
he started out so fucking slow.
Right. He's had 120 at bats. He's driven in 14 runs, 29 hits. He's had 6 home runs with 20 RBIs and 2 stolen bases. 242 batting average. But again, when his batting average was super low before
Right.
he got hot. So again, and he's not playing every day, so it's it's kind of hard for him to get that average up. But now that he's kind of getting more games as of late, I'm sure it's gonna go up. But 242 compared to how he started, I'm cool with that. I
I mean,
can't.
what did he start out at? He was starting out like under 100 at one point. There was
Yeah.
awful.
Again, so was Vientos. Vientos right now is at 234, which is better, but you understand the type of hitter that he is, and I think with Vientos, the problem with him is that he's not doing a lot that he did last year. For example, great inside fastball hitter. He's not really He's not really touching the fastball like he was. He's striking out more on breaking pitches, which is a concern because that was a concern that we all said last year, the Pete Alonso effect. Remember that Pete Alonso had that issue last year. And we were all saying that it was wearing off and certain guys were doing the same thing. So that effect that Alonso had on that, Vientos is kind of having that effect as well. So that's the issue.
For me, Vientos just hasn't looked comfortable up there. He hasn't looked comfortable the entire season. He's had some little success here and there, but when I know Vientos is comfortable, I notice he's shooting the ball right center field, right field. He's getting his base hits. He's turning on the ball for power. He hasn't been doing that, man. He's kind of shooting. He kind of reminds me, like you said, Top. Kind of reminds me of Pete Alonso last year. Kind of swinging outside of his shoelaces, swinging at bad pitches, getting fooled on breaking balls, things like that. He's just doesn't look comfortable out there. And he needs some more at bats. He needs to do his work, do all what he's got to do. He's got to get back in his comfort zone up there. I think it's simple as that. And even his fielding, to me, he hasn't looked comfortable. He's kind of second guessing himself at times, I notice. So that's a matter of reps. And I hope that Mendy could get him and Beatty the proper amount of reps so they both can get back on track. So he could get back on track.
Right.
And I think
Mendy's been playing him though. Mendy's been playing him, and he said himself, like, yo, just like guys go into hitting slumps, they go into fielding slumps.
Correct.
And he's been struggling hitting. Mendy didn't say that, but we all know this. He's been struggling, and ideally you don't want this to happen, but sometimes you take that on the field. Takes it on the field, then makes a couple of errors. Now he's in a slump on the field as well. And all of that is in his head, and listen, hopefully eventually he'll get out of it.
Himself.
As an athlete, it's gonna happen. At the end of the day, as an athlete, when you're struggling, you're thinking about so much because you're trying to think, what the hell can I change to get out of the slump? The thing with me in terms of the struggles, as much as people don't want to look at it, Hector knows this because we spoke about this when the season first started. I told Hector, I said, yo, if Mendy continues to put Soto at number 2 and Vientos has to drop, that's gonna fuck Vientos up. And at the time when I was saying that, people were like, no, it's okay. And what happened? Now, all of a sudden, what I was preaching before the year, I said, yo, it's okay. You don't have to have Juan Soto as your number 2 because Juan Soto can hit great number 2 or number 3. What's happening now? Juan Soto is your number 3. And now that number 2 is kind of filled between Marte, Nimmo, and Vientos at times. So it's like, yo, maybe if they would have did the combo of Lindor, Vientos, Soto, then Pete, maybe that would have not messed up Vientos. Would it have had an effect on Nimmo? Maybe, but again, there's only so much you can do. So it's like you take a risk with a lot of that, and certain people don't realize that. But you being comfortable in the lineup and all of a sudden being dropped a year after that does a lot, man. It really does a lot because you as a player know who's hitting behind you and who's hitting in front of you, and you know what to do as a you know what your approach is, you know what the mentality is depending on who's hitting in front of you and behind you.
But they are
I just think
professional
the
players.
approach would have been different too. If he was hitting second, maybe wouldn't have seen as many breaking balls as he's seen. He'd just seen a little bit more fastballs. Then we just have to approach him differently.
I disagree with you guys.
Now you can disagree all you want.
I disagree.
I mean, listen, he was seeing a lot of fastballs as a number 2 hitter. That's why he was destroying.
Okay, great, but guess what? The league adjusts, and you have to adjust accordingly. Just because you're not hitting where you were last year,
Listen,
Right. The league was gonna
fucking-
adjust regardless, though,
Right.
Eddie. The league was gonna adjust regardless. But maybe if you have them in a 2-hole, you make it a little bit harder for them to adjust. Maybe
fuck
instead of
that.
throwing them 3, okay, but it matters for other guys. You want to ignore it for this, but it
I'm
matters
not
for other
ignoring
guys.
it.
Because
I'm not
you don't give a
ignoring
shit
it.
about Vientos.
No,
you are. You're dismissing it. You're
No,
dismissing it. But
no,
pretty
I'm
sure
not
for other
dismissing
guys,
it.
you would
I'm saying
you
you're
would
a
put some value
professional
into it.
baseball player. Fucking adjust accordingly.
Obviously,
motherfucker.
you can say that for
obviously, but
everybody.
it's not that
Obviously,
easy.
then they
It's
should
not
have never
easy.
switched the lineup to begin with, and should have left Juan Soto too.
It's
But
not.
now
It's
you're
not.
loving it. You just
It's
said a
not
little
that
while
easy.
ago how
I'm
you
not
love
loving
Brandon.
it.
You just said you love Brandon Nimmo
I love
too.
Brandon. Yeah,
And
I
you love
do.
your
I
Pope.
do. You know
So
why?
you have
Why do I
to
love it?
stay
Because they
consistent.
fucking win. That's why. Because they're fucking
consistent.
winning.
Stay
But
consistent.
They're
that
fucking winning.
the
Oh,
thing is
stay
that,
consistent.
the thing is that's not.
15 games over 500. You're worried about fucking
All
Vientos.
right. Are you gonna say that to everything though, Eddie? Because then we can fucking close the stream. Why are we gonna talk of it every time? Well, just one series and we're 15 games over 500. All right, conversation fucking over. What are we gonna talk about then? Conversation over.
All I'm saying is,
What are you saying?
okay, you talk about some perfect world where Vientos is going to go back in the 2-hole and everything's going to come to light. No, it's called a sophomore year fucking slump. It happens to like 9 out of 10 fucking guys. It happens. Adjust
Right,
accordingly.
but here's my question: how many of those guys that have their sophomore slumps were moved up and down in the lineup automatically?
I don't know.
Right, so that's my point.
And do you really know either? Do you know the answer to that?
I don't know
You
the
don't know
number.
either.
No, I don't know the number, but I can tell you that a lot of them were moved from their spot later on because of the slump. Vientos was moved out of the second hole automatically. That's the difference, and that's where I think fucked him up.
But he said, what was he hitting? 5th for the most part. He was like hitting in the 5-hole.
Yeah, but he wasn't hitting at he
I
was.
mean, that's a good spot to hit.
But he wasn't hitting as consistent as he was as a number 2.
Oh, agreed, but I'm just saying, it's not like he went and moved. I mean, he's moved from being behind Lindor to being behind Alonso. Those are 2 fucking good hitters. It's not like he's behind fucking Luis Torrens or fucking who's that fucking scrub they have? Fucking Alvarez. You get what I mean?
Right, I understand that, but for a guy that understood his assignment, understood the pressure, and got comfortable as a number 2 hitter, it's different than doing that as a number 5 hitter. It's very different. People don't see it because it's like, oh, it's a lineup change. It doesn't matter. He can still hit the same way. No, it doesn't work like that. That's what's so interesting about baseball is that one move from that lineup fucks your whole regimen up. It fucks your whole momentum up. And again, I'm not putting this on Mendy to be like, yeah, it's his fault. It's not, because at the end of the day, you still got to put your best 2 hitters, number 1 and number 2. He tried it. It didn't work. But the thing is, now you went and said, yo, I'm going to move Soto to my number 3 and see if that's going to help him get better. It has to a certain extent. Now you're in this situation. Right. But now you're in a situation where it's like, not only is my left fielder, my lefty left fielder is getting hot as a number 2 hitter. Marte's kind of found a little bit of a groove as a number 2 hitter. And now I still got to worry about Vientos. So again, he's stuck in a predicament right now. And I know people don't want to hear about Marte, but we got to call a spade. Like, it's just a truth.
No, you're right. Look. For me, I think Vientos just needs a week where he just starts seeing some fastballs, seeing some balls he hits. I think if Vientos could get a little hot spot going, I think they could get him going a little bit. I think he just needs to see himself hit the ball. So get a couple of fucking doubles, hit a couple of homers, give him that little fucking confidence back, because right now he's lost it. I mean, how many home runs does he have on the year? Not a lot, right? I mean, he's got to be what, 7?
Not a lot. I will check that.
What's his extra base hit totals? I guarantee it's very low.
So right now in 2025, he has
6 home runs.
Yeah.
6 home runs. How many doubles or extra base hits besides home runs?
He has. Let me see real quick. I'm looking right now. Extra bases. Where the fuck is it? Oh, actually, doubles. He has 8 doubles right now.
Okay. For me, listen, start going up there. Start hunting for some extra base hits.
He hit a triple.
No, right?
He did early in the season. him and another guy, I believe, had it in the same game. Same game.
I believe,
But,
yeah, I forgot
yo,
what game, but yeah.
but yo, honestly, go up there. Let's get him a little hot. Let him see him put the ball into play. Let him see hitting the ball out of ballpark. I think once he starts doing that, I think we might be able to get a little more out of him. That's my take on him.
Yeah, Mendoza just has a situation to figure out because again,
Mendoza's a great manager, by the way.
no, of course. But again, it's a good problem to have because you're noticing that you flipping the guys hasn't really hurt them, but at the same time, it's kind of like okay, you're gonna have to make it. It's the same thing with Jeff McNeil and Luis Angel Acuna. Luis Angel Acuna is not swinging a hot bat, but he's there because of his speed and his defense.
Right.
That's why Mendoza puts him in later towards the game. He's there for a reason. So again, at the end of the day, it's Mendoza got a good problem to have. My thing is I would have started with Vientos as a number 2 because he earned that last year. This is a kid.
But you also too understand you had the best player and one of the best top 5 players in baseball. Where he hit last year, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I get starting Soto hitting number 2. That's every other team in baseball. If they would have signed Soto, he would be hitting number 2.
Not necessarily. The Yankees hitting number 2. He didn't hit number 2. He didn't always hit 2, Eddie. He didn't always hit 2.
Right.
He didn't always hit 2.
This year, most teams, he would have hit 2nd.
Okay, well, I don't give a damn. On this team, he should have always hit 3rd. The way this team is built, he should have always hit 3rd. And in my opinion, not because Vientos earned the 2 spot like Top says, which he's right, but for me, to try to protect him, I thought the best spot was to have him hit between 2 monsters like Francisco Lindor and Juan Soto. You can say it doesn't fucking matter all you want.
No, it doesn't.
That would matter in how you fucking approach him.
And
that would matter in how you approach him. If you constantly got Lindor on base in front of him, you have the threat of Juan Soto and Eddie Alonso behind him. You got to approach him differently, and maybe he doesn't get started off to a
he got hot.
You can say the same thing about him hitting 5th. I'm sorry.
You not necessarily
the same fucking thing.
Guys feed off who they hit behind, bro.
Okay, hitting behind Pete Alonso, is he good? What are you fucking nuts, Hector?
Oh my God, what has
he listened to what the fuck I said? I said him hitting between 2 guys and having 2, 3 other guys following him. You're talking about it because he's hitting behind Peter. What the fuck is that?
That's what you said.
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. You said that. You say him hitting behind Peter.
You said hitting behind people.
You say him hitting behind Peter's a good spot. I'm talking about him between these 2 guys, bro. Between 2 guys. What part of that don't you understand?
Okay, so because he's hitting between 2 guys, that's why he's struggling.
Is that
the logic here? Is that the logic? Is that the logic?
It don't matter now. It don't matter now.
That's my fucking opinion. And he got off to a bad start.
It don't matter.
Oh yeah, and maybe that has an effect on it. Maybe if he was hitting here, that wouldn't have happened.
It doesn't matter now.
Jinx and all of that bullshit. Whatever.
He's been something all year.
So every fucking player is gonna be bad second year. Don't even fucking play him then. Don't even try to help him.
No, it don't matter now. It doesn't matter now, but people gotta understand that hitting behind Francisco Lindor and hitting behind Pete Alonso there's a difference. Yes, Pete Alonso is a great ball player. Yes, but you also have to understand most of his success came because he felt comfortable hitting behind Lindor.
But we didn't have Soto on the team last year.
It doesn't matter. That 1-2 combination still felt it doesn't matter. Of course
it matters.
It does not, bro. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. He still found success without Soto. It's what he did behind. It's what he did behind
Lindor. Has it fucking mattered that he's batting 3rd? Has that hurt the team? Like I don't understand this fucking infatuation that Juan Soto had to bat 2nd in order for this team to be successful.
It doesn't matter.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, it was an analytical decision to put my 2nd because you have fucking Lindor who tore up the fucking league at the leadoff spot last year, and you want to put one of the best hitters in baseball right fucking behind him.
It has nothing to do with Lindor. It has to do with the stupid analytics. It has to do with the stupid analytics to fucking put the best player second.
You're saying it's stupid. If it would have worked out, you wouldn't be talking about this. It just didn't work out.
I wish I would, because I've been saying this since the offseason. I didn't just start saying this.
I know that. I'm saying you're acting like it's dumb. If it would have worked out,
dumb. I'm always gonna say it's dumb. I've been saying it's dumb since they've been doing it.
It just didn't work out.
I've been saying it's dumb since they've been doing it. I don't like it.
You're saying it's dumb because it failed. If it didn't fail,
how did it fail if he never did it consistently though? That's my question.
Well, I mean, he did it for what? 30 games, 35 games.
He didn't do it for 30 games, bro. He only bat twice. He only bat in the second. No, I'm
talking about Soto.
In the 2-hole.
Yeah, Soto, what, 30, 35 games, right? Before we moved?
Yeah, like 30, 35 games. Then he dropped them.
Yeah.
Then he dropped them
to the I get, and that's why I was for it. I get the concept of Lindor, Soto, 1-2. You understand? It's what the Dodgers do. It's what these you want your two best guys going. For us, it didn't work. Fine.
Right.
It's all good. I'm good with that.
The thing is, he didn't have to go that route because he understands the type of hitter Juan Soto is, whether you put him as number 2 or number 3. That's what I'm saying. The thing with Vientos is that for a young kid who was struggling very bad, for him to turn it around like he did last year, and then to automatically be like, yo, well, let's start the season off. Hey, we know that you went from the end of May all the way to October as a number 2, and you were red hot.
Can you read off Vientos' stats to me last year, please? Because
I got you. I have his thing open. Stats. I got his thing open right here.
Like he's gonna fucking strangle me.
Yeah, I got you right here.
Yeah, he's ready to strangle. He can't even look at it.
So his average in 2024, he had a 266 average with an OPB of 322, a slugging percentage of 516, and an OPS of 838. He put 27 home runs. He had 71 RBIs, 33 walks. He struck out 135, which is
doubles.
The most in his career, obviously.
Yeah. How many doubles?
Doubles, he had 22 doubles.
Okay, and how many at bats total? How many games played?
He had he's played 111 games, and he had 413.
Those are some damn good fucking numbers.
But this is what he
damn
did as a number 2. That's what I'm trying to like. Y'all don't get it. He did it as
it's not that I don't get it. Don't put words in my mouth.
You specifically. I'm saying
simply saying those are damn good numbers.
Right. But that's why I said that he should have stayed as a number 2.
I don't like to be made a fool of.
No. It's just
people like say I would say this and then they twist it and
no. But he absolutely.
I mean, 111 games with those numbers, phenomenal.
He deserved it. If you would have started off the season with him as your number 2 and he would have dropped, then okay, then you drop him down. But you didn't start him off that way. Right. And again, I know people are going to be like, well, Top, you got to understand, it's Juan Soto and Mark Vientos. I understand that. But at the end of the day, look at Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge didn't start off as a number 2 hitter. Aaron Judge was number 3. Aaron Judge eventually was dropped down to number 4 to be your cleanup. Then he got put back as a number 3, then got put back as a number 2. Guys can move up no matter where your status is at. That's what I'm saying. He's still a young kid at the end of the day. I don't give a fuck if he's been here for 5 years. That is still a kid trying to learn, because he's another kid like Brett Beatty that has been moved up and down. That is not good for development. I want people to understand this. This is not to you, Eddie. This is just in general. People have to understand that with a kid like that, whether it's Beatty, whether it's Ronnie, whether it's fucking Gilbert, when guys are being called up and consistently being moved up and down, that is not good for your mental health as a player and good for your development. People don't understand that because
some guys can handle it though, Top.
Not everybody. That's the problem.
I agree, but some guys don't give 2 shits. You know what I mean?
Well, you don't know because guys don't come out and say anything. That's the problem. The guys is not going to come out and be like,
well, the results speak, right?
Right. So when you finally get an opportunity to show some consistency, look what Mark Vientos do. For example, when Brett Beatty's playing every day, look what Brett Beatty is doing. Again, I understand that again, the managers and the ups and everybody in the front office have a tough decision to make. But we're just talking about what could have happened if they would have started that way. We would probably not, maybe we would not have be having this conversation of Mark Vientos struggling if he would have just been up there as a number 2 because he understood his assignment from last year. And now he's in an even better position because he's like, wait a minute, I got Juan Soto here now. Oh, I'm good. I know what I gotta do. I know what I gotta do.
From a front office standpoint, I do understand him moving him down in the order at his best, which he had a great year last year. His on base was only 322. That's technically a guy in the 2 hole. You want somebody that gets on base at least at like a 350 clip there. You know what I'm saying? I'll throw that out there from the statistic standpoint.
Right. The strikeouts killed them as well.
Everybody strikes out, but on base, on the 2 hole, you got to be a guy that gets on. That's why I was praising Nimmo there because I know he's going to get on base. And I know he's not going to, at least in the 2 hole, he's not going to try to fucking smack grand slams, even though there's one guy on base.
Absolutely. He understood what his approach was compared to what it is as a number 5 hitter. And that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? People have to also understand maybe he fed off that pressure of being a number 2 behind a Francisco Lindor.
I think he's going to come around, man.
I think so too. You just gotta give it time, dude. You gotta give it time. We still have what 5 months of baseball left. 4 months of baseball. Like he's gonna get there. He's gonna get there. It's I think it's what 5. I can't.
5 plus 6 if you want to count October.
But yeah. So I said 5 in the beginning, but like again, you got just give him time. The problem with New Yorkers, because this is also happening with the Knicks as of today. They are just ready to ship motherfuckers out of here and be done with them. Development people, give him time. Give him time, bro. I understand it. You want to win a chip now? Yes, I do too. But you can't win unless these players fully get into the consistency of their game. But again, New Yorkers have this shit where it's like, oh, if he doesn't do it now, I don't want him. Okay, you're never gonna win shit like that. Let's be honest. You're never gonna win shit like that. So gotta give him time. I understand it's his 5th year in the league.
How about this? Besides all this talk about Vientos and Beatty, how about this talk? When are we gonna have a real conversation about Terrence and Terrence starting? Because
I know that
Hector's been right about Terrence all along. And I was a little at first, I was like, you know what? All right, maybe they'll do a 60-40 Terrence. Bro, I'm at like 80-20 now, Terrence.
Right.
This guy gets big hits. I think he calls the game better. I think he's possibly better on defense. What are we doing here?
I think it's the same.
I'll leave that for you, Hack.
Not wanting to give up on the young guys. That's all it is. Not wanting to give up on the young guys. Mandy has said it a couple of times. They're not going to give up on guys. And as long as they're still winning, there really is no reason to, right? There really is no reason to. But, I mean, listen, you guys know how I feel. I kept saying it when Alvy was coming back. First of all, I think they rushed Alvy, which I don't understand why. It's not like the Senger kid.
Why do you think they did that, Hack?
I don't know. You know, a guy that had hand injuries, he was already working on switching his batting stance and his approach and all of that nonsense.
You made a post yesterday, and you showed it was on your post, it was in your feed. I saw it, and I think it was when he was at AAA, and you saw his approach. He hit a home run.
Oh yeah, that's from my shout out to Mets News and Links. He shot it.
What I got from that, and I'll let you touch on this, obviously, is your post. But I watched a guy that was extremely patient, was locked in with the pitcher, lock, step, and barrel. Where is that guy? What happened to that guy?
I don't know. I forget who the hell I was talking to yesterday. But when Alvy came up, he talked about being a guy that uses the whole field, gap to gap, and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden we heard about, outside sources or whatever, outside forces trying to get him to be a power hitter. Now he's gone to the JD school of hitting. I don't know what the hell's going on with the kid. The reason why I shared that post is like I've been thinking, and I've been saying, like, yo, just go back to what got you here, man. Just do what got you here. And I know it's harder than that. You have to adjust. The league adjusts. We just had the whole Vientos discussion about adjustment. But like for Alvi, it just looks like he just gone like totally different approaches, different mentality from month to month. It seems like, but he did what he did this off season. He gets hurt, and you rush him back. I don't know why. It's not like, yeah, we weren't hitting or anything like that, but Alvi was really gonna help the hitting again.
Like,
where do you get that from?
like
Since
for
2022,
me,
this guy hasn't hit.
I don't think his mentals are right. Like for me, like again, he's swinging at balls that he should never swing at. He's very impatient. I don't know what they're trying to do with him. Like I don't get it. And if he's gonna keep this shit up, you got to go to Torrens. We're trying to win a fucking pennant here. We're trying to win a world championship. I can't have this.
D-Rose says Torrens was sold to the Mets for $100,000 for a reason. Let's not forget that. And I get what he's saying here.
Yeah, but the results.
More. No, yeah, but it is limited time, right? You don't want to expose him. Even last year, as it got towards the end, you saw that he kind of like wore out a little bit. But what I'll say is this: if everybody else is doing what they got to do, I don't need him really to hit. Just keep playing that defense. Give me that solid approach that you have at the plate. And I don't need him to bat 272. You know what I'm saying? Just driving a run here and there. You know, give me that good at bat. Move that runner over. Help turn the lineup over.
Do you guys think he's like capable of being that, 25 home run guy, that guy that hits about 240, 230? I'm saying, like, I see the power, yes. And
who are you talking about, Torrens?
No, I'm talking about Alvi.
Oh, I was gonna say not Torrens. Torrens
no,
got warning track.
Torrens is just a better hitter. Right from what I'm observing, he's a better hitter.
I am starting to think that even though Alvi came up thinking about an all field approach and all of this stuff, maybe they should let Alvi go ahead and become a fucking pull hitter that just tries to yank the ball out. Maybe that works for him.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the best version of Alvi.
But that's especially a flawed hitter.
He's hurt his hands a couple of times. Maybe he doesn't have that power to right center anymore. I don't know. I honestly, I don't know, but I guess you gotta be a little bit patient. You gotta be a little bit patient. I know some people feel like he's killing us. He's not necessarily. And listen, I've done videos about enough with this guy. I've had enough. Give me Torrens, but shit, my bad. Let's see here. But yeah.
Here we go.
This is just not good. Look at this against the Rockies. 1 for 7.
Against the worst team in baseball. Historically might be the worst team ever.
Just on the season overall. Does he really only have 1 home run? Is that so?
Is that it? I thought he had 2.
That's disgusting, bro. That is disgusting, man. Jesus.
It's pretty fucking bad. Yeah, he's somebody they're going to have to take a hard look at, because you can't have a guy that's a total zero in the box at catcher, especially with the way this offense is made up where we're hot and cold. You need a guy that's consistent. And I know catcher is like the hardest spot to fucking find a guy that could do both, but I don't like what I'm seeing out of Alvarez at all. At all. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
No. Listen, I'm so disgusted with it. I don't even want to talk about it. I think that's the consensus. There's fans, us, everybody that.
Do you think it could be corrected?
That Torrens should be getting most of the playing time. I think everybody agrees on that. I don't think that's up to debate.
Can Alvi be corrected, or is he just has?
No, he can. It's just within his approach. There's nothing else that you can say besides just his approach and every at bat. He right now just looks lost, and at some point, the reason why he's not, because I know a lot of people are wondering, like, why don't they move him down automatically, it's because, you know, pitchers are still used to him as a catcher. Certain pitchers have their guys, you know what I'm saying? So he's still going to be up here because certain guys feel comfortable with him. Not to say that Torrens is whack or anything like that. They're just used to him. And then it just comes down to playing time. Like at the end of the day, Mendy still sees something in this kid. It's like, yo, he just wants him to get consistent reps and to hopefully find that one spark that he could find as a hitter, and maybe that could turn it around. Then he also did come out like 2 days ago and basically said 2 3 days ago and said that Torrens is not going to play every day. And that's just the nature of what Torrens has been through for the most part. So again, there's some unfortunates with that because you want Torrens to play every day based on how he's been hitting, but you know, Alvarez is still your young cat. And until they do make that decision where it's like, yo, we got to move him down, he's going to be up here. So it's like, you don't want that kid to just sit on the bench and not do nothing. At some point, he's going to have to get up there. He's going to have to hit. Like I said, when it comes to baseball, it just takes that one at bat. All of a sudden you get that spark and you're like, damn, so it took this at bat right here in the sixth inning where we were already up like 8-0 and he hit a home run to make it 9-0 and automatically and all of a sudden Alvi is a different guy. You know, you just see a lot in him. You know what I mean? Like his stance is different, the way he's holding the bat, just the way he's swinging. He's not laying off a lot of good pitches. Like it's very hard to see because you from 2023 he wasn't doing any of that. He was very patient. He was getting in a lot of fastballs inside. He was taking a lot of balls in the zone, but outside in the outside part of the zone the other way, hitting more opposite field home runs. I mean, we all remember last year in the Subway Series, he hit two bullets to right field over Juan Soto, and one was a home run. Again, his approach was, and that was last year, but again, his approach is very different this year. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, it has something to do with him and JD Martinez, whatever. Again, that also has something to do with our hitting coaches, but I won't get into that conversation because I could be
Yeah.
here all day violating.
On the matrix with that hole. That's a rabbit hole.
I don't want to. I've already said enough about the hitting coaches, and I don't listen.
I don't think the hitting coaches are the problem, honestly, in my opinion. Maybe Barnes, but to me, Chavez has never said anything that I don't like. But that's me. I'm
Yeah, I mean, to me, when it comes to them, I don't think it's anything about what they're saying. It's me trying to put two and two together in terms of you as a hitting coach. Are you having conversations with these guys in terms of their approach? Because if you do remember, we went through a stretch in late April going into May where we couldn't we couldn't get consistent
Right.
hits. And at some point, I was sitting there like almost everybody from 1 through 9, their approach, besides maybe Lindor and Pete, everybody else's approach were horrible. And it got to a point where I sat there and I'm like, you have iPads in the dugout for a reason. You are a hitting coach that is standing right next to Mendoza, watching these guys at bats, their stance, the way they're holding these bats, if they're early on certain pitches, if they're late on certain pitches. If I'm a hitting coach and I'm watching that, I'm gonna sit down with some of these guys and be like, all right, this is what I've noticed. This is what I noticed that you're doing good, and this is what I noticed you could work on in your next at bat. Doesn't hurt. And I'm not
I
saying they're
think
not doing that, but I'm just trying to figure out a situation where like what's going on in terms of that. And I put that on them.
you're right. I think sometimes there's things that we just don't know, right?
Right.
And that
Absolutely.
stuff could be going
Absolutely.
on, like you said, and we just don't know. But I don't think you go at bat to at bat like, yo, you got to change, you got to position your hands here, you got to do this, you got like that's just that doesn't happen.
Right.
Um, I also don't think. Listen, we've talked about it a couple of times in the comments. Has been these guys all go to these hitting instructors. They all have their own hitting coaches.
Yep.
Look
Mm-hmm.
at Brett Beatty.
Mm-hmm.
Brett Beatty went to some dude out in Texas. Now, I read an article earlier this week where that dude said, "Yo, I was instructing Brett Beatty, but I was in communication with the Mets the whole time. I
Right.
was talking to Eric Chavez, like, almost on a
Every day.
weekly basis or whatever, like,
Right.
letting know what we was working on." And he was like, they were great about that. Now, does that happen with everybody? I don't know. I would think that they would want to be informed as to what's going on, so
Right.
that then when you come here, we know, okay, this is what you was working on, this is what you're trying to do. Okay, so let's see. But like, if for example, people talk about Juan Soto, Juan Soto, Juan Soto, Juan Soto. You and I've said this so many times. Juan Soto comes to the Mets. Juan Soto goes to any team, and the hitting coaches say, "Yo, Juan, what do you need from us in order to prepare?" They don't say, "Hey, Juan, we need you to do this. We need you to do that." It's the same thing with like a Lindor. Like, no, they may go back with you and look at film and say, "Yo, let's look back when you was doing well, or this what you was stuff like that." Now, where
Right,
I'm with is the approach thing as far as how we're gonna attack this pitcher,
right, right.
how we're gonna attack this pitching staff, and so on and so forth. But I also think that those things look bad when you don't execute, when you
Right.
don't have success. We hear, oh, first pitch swinging, this team with the first pitch swinging, take it. But when they hit a home run, when they're winning, when they're
It's
scoring runs, when they
Yeah,
when
exactly.
nobody says anything about first pitch swinging,
right, 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 right.
right? Nobody says anything about the approach. But we know that the approach is that they want to be aggressive,
Mm.
you know? But
You- to me, you
real
just got
quick,
to keep it simple.
the comment of the night, real quick, Eddie, goes to my nephew, who says, I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad we're in a phase where we could argue about this and still have one of the best records in baseball.
Absolutely, man.
15
Absolutely,
games over, baby.
absolutely. I
And that is so true.
I
That
agree.
is so
Yeah,
true. But go ahead, Eddie, you were saying?
I think
No,
you're
no,
right.
no, no. Look, man, when it comes to Alvarez, bro, my best advice to him is just go back to keeping it simple, man. Go up there, see the ball, hit the ball. That's it. Don't try to do too much, bro. Don't try to take pitches. If you see your pitch, take a hack at it. Go for it, man. All right, you're already slumping. It can't get much worse than this. So do what got you here, okay? And that's going up there, seeing the ball, hitting your pitch. Simple as that, bro. I cannot make this any simpler. So that's where I'm at with him. But in the meantime, if Terens is continuing to be successful, he's going to be the guy I'm giving at bats to. That's it.
No, yeah, and we may see that, and I kind of lost it here in the comments where a couple of guys are saying like they can very easily see Terrence starting 3 or 4 out there in LA. I don't think that'll happen. I really don't. I'd be shocked. Um, who
Well,
started today? I forget. Terrence played today, right?
Yes, yes. So,
As bad as Alvy's doing, I think it's worse for us than it is for them.
yeah, you're
You
probably right.
know, so I just don't think they're at the point where they're like we just can't play this guy. And if they get to that point, then why the hell have him up here?
right.
Then at that point, you might as well send them down. And I just don't think they're there yet. Let's hope he figures it out because if he doesn't, I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't even know what to say about Alvy anymore. Like I said, I'm just like exhausted by Alvy because he came up here with so much promise and he looked so good and he
Right.
talked a good game and the whole learning English and this and the building a relationship with the pitchers. Like everything about him is you want to love it,
Yeah.
but the production is just not there. And at
So,
the end of the day, we're about production.
and wins.
Yeah, production leads to wins. And again, right now you could put up with a little bit because we're winning, and he's not necessarily costing us games. Only Vientos does that. Um, but we'll see what happens when it comes to that. Other than that, guys, like we've hinted and we've talked about a couple of times, we now go out to LA.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
We
Two
now
night
go out to
games and then the
LA.
turnaround Wednesday getaway day.
No, 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 no. Ain't no Wednesday getaway day. It's a 4 game set, brother.
The 4 games. So Thursday's the day game then?
If there's a day game, which I'm assuming there is, yeah.
Yeah, that's the 4:10 start. My bad.
Right, so there it is. So you got tomorrow, everybody's favorite pitcher, Paul Blackburn,
Oh, he's back.
against what is this guy's name? Is it Derek May or whatever the hell it is? With a 3 and 4, 4.20 ERA. On Tuesday, you got Tyler McGill, everybody's second favorite pitcher,
Yeah.
against Clayton Kershaw, who once again kind of like held us down a little bit, if I remember correctly. But
In the
then,
first game, yeah.
yeah. Then you got Canning against Gonsolin, which I think we hit. Didn't we hit that guy pretty well?
Yes, I
This guy
But
believe.
was heat,
last
right?
time, not always.
No, not last time. Last time when we
Yeah,
faced him.
last time around.
But listen, like Todd was saying in the space, I said a couple other guys, they're gonna come back and try to get the revenge, right? We know they're a good team. I'm not one to say, oh, I'll sign up for this. In this case, if we could take 2 out of 4, I'll be okay with it. Of course, I want to win the series. And of course, we go game by game. And if you win the first one, you win the second, you win the second, you win the third, and so on and so forth. But we did beat them 2 out of 3. Even if we split with them right now, we'll have won the season series 4-3. What you
Right.
can't do is go out there and
And lose.
continue the trend of struggling on the road. Because as good as they are, or we didn't even talk about their record at home.
Yeah.
Their record at home is like what 24-7.
Yeah, it's the
just
best in
insane.
baseball.
It's insane. But then they're 2 under 500 on the road. That needs to change.
I think it will. I think it will.
So don't
I-
go
I
out there
think
and go lose 3 or 4 to these guys because that would really
With
piss me
this,
off.
look, we got 3 really good pitchers going up there. There's a chance we get 3 or 4 here. There's a chance. The way we've been playing, we've been hot.
It's a good chance, yeah.
I would take a split, but I think we're hot enough right now where we could get 3 or 4. They've got a lot of problems with their bullpen. You get that starter out of there, they're in trouble. And our offense is starting to turn the corner right now. So I'm going 3 or 4. I think they're going to take 3 or 4 versus the Dodgers. I could be wrong, but where I'm at right now, I think with that matchup, I think it favors us big time.
Interesting. Top, what you got on that?
I say I say 2. I say 3 out of 4. Just because they're playing with some good momentum right now. And I think the pitching is on it's on its high heels right now, except for Blackburn. I would say Blackburn, if you do get a quality start from Blackburn, that's a plus. But I think it's a little bit of a pressure situation putting Blackburn in there in his first game starting against the Dodgers. That's a bit. I could see him kind of struggling just a bit. If he does give us a quality start, like I said, that's a plus. But I also will not be mad at a split, just because if you do get that split, you do win the season series against them. Because you already took 2 out of 3 in the first series. So I think either way, I think it's a good. Just either don't get swept or don't lose 3 out of 4 is what we need to avoid. So yeah,
I don't know. I think we're gonna get 3 or 4 from these fuckers. We owe them. I want revenge.
listen, they probably have it circled on their calendar because we 2 out of 3 from them.
Right, and that's why I'm like, they're a good team.
Yeah.
Then they're gonna come and they're home
Oh, so are we. We're a good team
But
too.
let's start trying to turn that road record around against them. Why not?
Right,
I'm with
exactly.
I'm
And
with that
again,
for
they're
sure.
on a high momentum too. Even though they're about to lose this game to the Yankees, they took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees. So
Maybe I don't know if you were in the space top. I don't know. Maybe even you were the one that suggested it. Someone suggested in the space earlier, that maybe the Mets should have went with the opener route and let Brazoban open again, and maybe then threw Blackburn out there. You guys think maybe you should have done that?
Nah,
Or
fuck that.
you do that, but you can also you find yourself at some point where you're gonna need Blackburn. So I think letting him get the start and letting him start off in a good way to see what he could give you, and then if it goes well, then you go on to Barazabon, or if he ends up completely shitting the bed, then you still go to Barazabon. No matter what, you still go to Barazabon, and he could give you length from the bullpen once you start to move to the bullpen. But I think giving this to Blackburn, I think it could work. My only thing is that I wish it would have been maybe a game 3 or game 4 that Blackburn would have started.
right to not start. You don't want to get this series started off on the wrong foot.
Right.
Or maybe he comes out and throws fucking bullets. I mean, he's well rested.
I don't know
Right.
about bullets.
I just think
Yeah, but maybe he comes out and throws
I think for any series, a home opener is pressure because it's the first series, and your job is to try to pitch a quality start to help your team get the win of the first game. The
I'm
first
not
game
gonna.
is important. So
My bad. No, go
Nice.
ahead. My bad. I thought you
Yeah,
were
you
saying.
good. You good. I'm done. I'm good.
I'm not gonna lie. I was hoping that the Dodgers kind of like swept the Yankees, be on that high note, because then they do, for a little
Yeah,
leveling out and shit.
that's
I
I'm
like
back.
that. Yeah. I like that. You guys went on a high note and knock them down, and they're also due for a knockdown. But the
I'm
Yankees
not scared
actually,
of these motherfuckers. I'm
no,
not
neither
scared.
am I. Neither
yeah,
am I.
yeah.
I just That's just the little things that little
No, I totally get it.
what you call it. I don't even know what to call it, but little stupid things that I think about sometimes. But no,
Blackburn's
I
been
feel
waiting for
I
the
feel
sport
good,
all
man.
year, brother. So I
I
like it.
feel
Throw them
good.
into the fire. Let's see what you
Right.
got, Blackburn.
And we should have our long guys. The only thing you don't want to do is burn guys out in the first game of the series either, right? And we
That's
don't have a day off for a while. So you hope that he's able to give you 4, 5 innings pushing it.
right.
What you don't want to do is have to use Kranich, Brazoban, both your long guys, maybe even a Buto. And you know what I'm saying? Like everybody on the same day. I hate when we got to do that because now we're really up shit creek. You know what I'm saying? So I think Buto pushed Saturday. He should be ready for tomorrow.
Right.
Brazoban, I think, also pushed Saturday. He didn't push today. I
Right.
think
Yes.
only who pushed today? Only Diaz and Garrett, right? Out of the bullpen.
Diaz and Garrett.
Garrett
Yes.
and
Yes.
The
Diaz pitch.
standing. Oh, did I see standing today? No, no.
No, no, it was
Hmm.
Garrett. It was Garrett and Diaz. You
Right.
got exactly what you needed. You
They
had
were fucking lights out, by the way, too.
right.
And that's what we may see early tomorrow too is standing because he's pushed himself into that kind of
Yeah,
mop up, low
yeah.
leverage. So if we kind of getting
Yeah.
our ass kicked, we
He's
may
moved
see him
down the
come in.
charts, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
So if maybe we're losing 4-0 in the third, he might be the guy to come in. At the same
Ah,
time, do I really want him to come in? I want somebody that's gonna be able to hold the shit there and give me a
yeah.
chance. So
Right.
we'll see.
Listen, Blackburn's been waiting for this opportunity for a long time. They held him there for a long time. So I'm happy that we got Blackburn opening up. I think he's going to give us a good game. I think he's going to give us a good game.
Agreed. My bad.
I agree.
Why the hell?
Or he maybe shits the fucking bed. What do I know? But I got a feeling he's going to fucking turn. I think look, I'm not worried. I love the pitchers. I know they all get the job done. So listen, Blackburn, go out there. Give me 6 innings tomorrow. Come on. 6 innings, throw it to the bullpen. We'll see what happens. Maybe the offense goes out again, starts cracking home runs. Fucking start hitting some extra base hits. We're due. We're
Listen,
due. And we're
I'll
starting to do it.
if he could go 5 strong and we're still in the score is within reach, or if he gives us 6, I'm fine with that.
Exactly.
I don't need him to go 7 or 8. Just it's your first game. It's your first game back. Just give me something. Give me a quality start if you can. I'm not expecting him to be great because again it's his first game back and you got to let these guys kind of come into their own regimen before they can start giving you quality like outings like you saw from Clay Holmes today. Clay Holmes wasn't great, but he kept the Mets within the game and he gave you 7, exactly what you needed to rest your bullpen so you can have a fresh bullpen coming into this series, which is very important. So,
We're
if he
set up nice.
yeah, exactly. If he can at least give you 5, I'm okay with that. Because again, then he's also limited as well. He's not, and they're not trying to push him as much. So you
For
have that.
sure.
Yeah,
Give me
you
a second.
have.
My bad. There was something there that I want to share, but for some reason it's not working. I don't know why. So we won't do that. Um, I think that's it, boys. I think we've covered pretty much everything, man. Now it's just a matter of going out there.
I like that. I like that banner, man. That's
Ooh, I like
a
that
fire
too.
pick, man. That is a fire pick. Yo, you need to take that picture. You need to put it up on a flag and bring that to City Field with you, bro. Yeah, I guarantee I guarantee you motherfuckers gonna take a picture of that one.
we,
Yeah.
we, we'd have to
And
get
get
the
real flags. Get real flags for each one. And you
we
tape it
have to get the
together.
rights from Rudy as that's his creation. So shout
Oh
out
no,
to Rudy.
absolutely, man. Shout out to Rudy, man. He does so much for y'all, man. That's my guy, man. Shout out to Rudy, man. He does a lot
Um,
for y'all behind the scenes, man. I appreciate him.
but yeah, let's go out there to LA and handle business, man. Let's go out there to
Right now, we're better than the Dodgers. We're a better team right now.
They just scored a Jesus Christ. Yeah, Yankees aren't on momentum right now. I'm literally watching the game as we're
Yeah, I'm
recording.
watching it too, actually.
Yeah.
My nephew says he's gonna screenshot that.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
M Easy, wow, some positive from M Easy who says Blackburn is pitching 6 innings tomorrow. What are you talking about? Hey, listen, from your lips to God's ears, how my
Right.
guy Joe B likes to say. I'll take it. We're not
It's
saying we don't want that or that he's
Jack.
not going to,
It's
but
a pitch.
how many innings did he pitch in his rehab? How far did he go? How many pitches? I wonder.
Good question. Wrong
He
guy
To
to
expect
ask.
him,
I think he
yeah, to
went
expect
5.
him to go 6 innings, I think would be a little much, but we'll see.
I think
Yeah,
we could
listen,
get
it all
5 in
depends on
the third.
how he gets through, you know.
If he could go 5, you know, that'll
Yeah,
be fine.
we'd all sign up for 5.
It'll be hard because again, you're having to face a heavy lineup like that at least 3 times. But you know, if all I've said about this pitching rotation from day one, if they've been able to keep us in games almost every start they've had. You know, if he can do that, even if he pitches 4 innings and then Barazban comes in, if the game is in within reach and it's still winnable, I can't say anything bad about it.
I think Stanek will be first out of the pen. I don't think it'll be Brazabom.
I hope. Listen, if it's Stanek,
I
that
think it
worries me
depends.
just a little.
If you're trying to hold a lead and something like that, or you're trying to keep the game, you're down, let's say 4-0, and it's the third inning. Like now, we want to try to hold it here because we
Right,
still have a chance.
right, exactly.
Do you bring Stanek? I don't know. I don't the way he's been pitching. I don't know if I trust him. Like he's a mop up guy for me
We
right
got
now.
to start building him back up. He's
Oh,
another guy.
sure, for sure,
He's
for sure.
capable.
And listen, and maybe that's a spot that he comes in, holds it down for 2 innings, and you're like, oh shit, and he feels himself, and he's back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we just got to get his confidence back. This guy last year was one of our best pitchers.
Oh no, for sure.
Over
I'm
the
with that.
postseason, he was great.
Absolutely.
I'm
He
with
was
that.
definitely in the circle of trust. He started out good, and then he fucking shit the bed a little bit. Maybe he gets back on track. LA, perfect thing to do it. You start getting guys in LA out, you're gonna get that confidence back, man.
Absolutely. I agree.
All right. Guys, this has been fun. Even the little screaming match.
Yeah.
And don't worry, guys. Eddie and I don't take that shit personal. That shit is nothing. It's just
No way.
Funny, man. I like
passion. That's what it is. That's what it is. And as long as Eddie keeps telling me that Viento's in a two-hole wouldn't work, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. But that's no, that's that. I don't even know why I lose my mind over things sometimes, but I do. It is what it is. But nah, good stuff, man. Good stuff, guys. Top, thanks for joining us. You already know we told you last time. Doors always open.
appreciate y'all, man.
Um,
Thank you.
Whether Eddie feels that way or not, that's just how I feel. So
Nah, absolutely. Yeah. Here, told me no. The guy rejected
I'm
me.
messing with you, bro. I'm messing with you.
He's welcome every now and then, He already told me no, so that's
Keep
all
it
you
in the theme of
you
the
need to
night.
know about top.
Keep it in
Don't
the
worry,
theme of
fuck
the night of us disagreeing. And the people enjoy it. I don't know why, you fucking assholes. Fuck you guys.
It's common, man. It's
They
common.
love it. They love the arguments and the
Yeah,
screaming.
exactly. But like I said, the comment of the night was my nephew who said, "What the hell, man? We here arguing and it's fun. It's great because at the end of the day, we're a winning ball club.
That's
We're a
it.
first place
15
ball
games
club.
over. And it's not
Yes,
even, is it June 1st yet?
it's actually yes, June 1st.
June
Yes.
1st. There we go.
June
Happy,
1st.
15
happy.
games over on June 1st. If I told you that before the season started, would every one of you fucking sign that up?
Hell
Fuck
yeah.
you.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
And now it's time. What is it? What do they call it? The gay Mets? Whatever the hell. I don't get into none of
Happy
that
Pride
shit.
Month. The game mats are here, man.
All
Oh,
right, let's
that's
go.
fucking garbage. Get
Hey, be careful.
fucking
We don't want to get canceled, bro.
Oh, fucking. I mean, can't they have a fucking day? They got to make it the whole fucking month.
Hey, all right. All
Fucking-
right. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're
Oh,
gonna get out of here.
oh, you're gay.
Every-
Congratulations. Wow. Fucking unbelievable. Great. I have no
Oh, boy.
problem.
Ah,
Let me stop. Yo, that's the way to end the night, though. Yo, again, man, shout out to the chat. Apologize if we didn't get to you as much as we usually do, but we appreciate you guys. We appreciate the support. We appreciate the participation. All of that, man. And I don't know when the hell we're off. I guess with the early day on Thursday, maybe we could do a Thursday night. You guys know we like to wrap
Yeah,
up the
no doubt.
series, so we'll do that. Um, yo, I'm looking over on the YouTube. There's only 2 thumbs up. What's up? A lot
Nobody's
more
in the
viewers than
YouTube.
that.
Y'all gotta start. Y'all gotta start.
A lot more viewers than that, even on the YouTube. So there should be a lot more thumbs up.
X
It
is
just
the
feel like
future.
it.
Man. Yo,
X is the future. I
lot of-
don't do none of that YouTube. I go all X right
Okay,
here.
so hate on my YouTube. Thank you. Great.
a lot of
I'm
content.
not hating on YouTube. I hate
No,
YouTube.
listen. X, we're doing great too, man. Listen, we got close to 1,000 people here, all combined from everything.
Fuck yeah.
All love, man. All love. All love. On that note,
And happy Pride Month.
happy Pride Month. Anything else, Eddie? Besides that.
Oh, God. Let's
No.
fucking go Mets. Keep winning.
There we
Give me a
go.
four
That's what I
piece
want to
box.
hear. That's what I want to hear. Top.
Let's go Mets, man. Let's go Mets. Let's keep
Go
winning, man.
Mets,
Let's go. Let's go.
LFGM, y'all. Peace out, man. Oh my gosh.